Hey guys, it's your homeboy, the one and only Great Dane. So you'll notice that I'm back in my Chrome browser here with a promotional offer by Intellifluence. So if you can't tell by the title, this is a paid promotion, but I haven't viewed this yet, so I'm going to give my best unbiased opinion in a short video, which I was directed by in a very brief message that they reached out to me with, so you can click the link that I'm going to leave to this blog article in the description, or you can just sit back and relax and enjoy my unbiased opinion. So what is influencer marketing in brands by Joe Sinkwitz, updated on May 11th, 2018. So this article is about 2 years old now, but I imagine it's still pretty accurate. Considering I'm doing this as an influencer, it's probably good to know why I'm doing this and what an influencer is. So, influencer marketing, as defined by a bunch of old marketers such as ourselves, can be simply stated as having someone tell your story for you. One common example that most people associate with this type of marketing can be seen on television and in movies as an actor uses a specific product, captivating an audience in its amazingness. Personally, I can attest to its power given that I own several Omega watches, just like James Bond. I was unfortunately unable to capture his charm through my purchases. I highlight this specific example for 2 reasons. Number 1. Influencer marketing is not native advertising. The mistake is often assuming that influence exists in the same manner as product placement, a common form of native advertisement. While there is an overlap, and at a later date I'll explain in greater detail how to pair the 2 different types of marketing to create a compulsion for your product. It is the lack of explicit endorsement that in my mind separates native advertising and influencer marketing. The product without a story is native advertising. With the story it becomes influencer marketing. So I'm kind of giving this blog a story here, I guess. Number 2. The other reason I highlight this example is because it is largely out of reach of most businesses. I highlighted the use of aspirational, i.e. celebrity influence. While it is clearly effective, it isn't even the most effective form of influencer marketing, which I hope to convince you of in this ongoing series. Word of mouth. To understand the concept better, we need to look at its roots. While storytelling is as old as human history itself, the idea was acutely defined in the 1970s by psychologist George Silverman. George was so far ahead of his time that he actually coined the concept initially as teleconferenced peer-influenced groups, what we now refer to as influencer marketing. The idea by George was to build buzz to the point of influencing a purchasing decision. On the whole, we like that concept, but we now live in an age of key performance indicators, or KPIs. Stated goals and the ability to track and tie a significant amount of purchasing behavior back to those goals. Buzz is fine, but the bottom line is better. Types of influencers. Briefly touched on above is the James Bond example. There are 3 types of influencers. One can attempt to attract, whose use depends upon one's goals and budget. Number 1. Aspirational. Aspirational influence, again, is the most known of the types as it is what we most recognize as marketing. As a definition, this is the type of influence applied towards something that is aspiring to be like another person. I wanted to be like James Bond, and also love fine watches, so Omega it was. Authoritative. Authority is earned in this group. Authoritative influencers are topical experts, whose opinion you trust because you know them to be experts in that realm. James Bond's choice of vodka martini would be a decent example in that due to his obvious knowledge of the drink and assertiveness in ordering it and correcting the bartender who might accidentally stir his concoction. One might consider him an expert on this topic. If James turned to the camera and stated which specific vodka he prefers and why, chances are sales would increase significantly for that distiller. That would also be a mix of aspirational and authoritative influence. Number 3. Peer. The most powerful influence applied is from those that we believe to be our equals. While we want what our heroes want and trust what authorities tell us works, we absolutely need to have what our friends and neighbors have. Using James as an example, let us assume that Mr. Bond receives some new gadgets from Q and then is showing off his fellow MI6 compadres. Do you think they are going to be influenced by a product review from the greatest spy of all time and how he used the gadget on his last mission? No question. So who should use influencer marketing? Any business, large or small, can employ the concept. A brand such as Coca-Cola might line up a series of positive image celebrities and a pool of several thousand peer-level influencers in a global campaign to spread a new advertising message, whereas a small e-commerce business is going to see the most results by using a service such as Intellifluence, which is what wrote this blog, to build a peer influence campaign based on identified buyer personas. The concept even transcended B2C versus B2B debates, so long as a product or service is for sale. A reviewer can be found to influence a prospective buyer. According to Thompson, customers acquired through influencer tactics tend to also be of a higher quality due to personalized connections. Who am I for you? So we have a little graph here. What is the quality of customers acquired from influencer marketing? So on the left we have the share of respondents being better, same, and worse. So apparently the quality of customers from more shares to respondents is better. Don't just take my word for it though. On who should use this marketing concept, a few short years ago, influencer reach was already beginning to extend into all facets of the economy. We have another graph here, so reach of influencers and online marketing in United States in 2014 by industry. So we have food, lifestyle, parenting, beauty, DIY, fashion, health, social media, entertainment, travel, technology, advertising, music, pop culture, video games, and business. So you have to keep in mind that this article is 2 years old. So I imagine that technology, video games are probably on a rise, especially in a period of now where everybody's at home and these are the things people are leaning towards. So what makes for a successful campaign? In some cases, a niche blogger community is going to be far more effective than a broader following on Twitter depending on one's goals, and a product reviewer on Amazon for an Amazon-hosted product is going to be more effective than the same person posting on LinkedIn. What makes for the best campaign is the one that ties both the network and influencer type that best fit a product or service. B2B campaigns in our data have had enormous success on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter when using a mixture of authoritative and peer influencers. B2C fashion-orientated brands have been skewing towards Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter. B2C services have been using Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Those currently aren't the only cases either. Some are using influencers not just to promote product, but also content and activities/events. So we have another graph. So leading scenarios when employing influencers is highly strategic according to marketing professionals worldwide as of January 2014. So I actually think these graphs are probably even 6 years old at this point. So again, the higher the share of respondents, the better the product's going to do. Each business is unique. Where are your potential customers spending time online? Who influences them? That's where your focus should be. And when in doubt, test It is very simple to try out different networks and different ranges of reviewers to determine the best way to make influence marketing work for you. So where are the influencers today? Any community or group where a person has a potential audience is technically a place where you can find potential influencers. However, not all networks are created equal. Let's dive in to see how the marketplace has been evolving. The internet is very fluid in that networks that thrive today might be dying tomorrow. For instance, in 2015, marketing professionals were not focusing nearly as much on Instagram and Pinterest as they are now. Google Plus still held some share, is virtually dead now according to our data on effectiveness. Our decision to focus initially on blogs, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, and Amazon was deliberate. So we have another graph. Platforms perceived by marketers as most effective for influencer marketing in the United States as of March 2015. So blogs and Facebook are probably your best bet. 5 years ago. I imagine they're still holding up really well though. So we're actually not even sure what the other sources are. Social influence is not just about young adults either. According to ComScore, a significant amount of users is in the 30 to 40 year age bracket. And then we just have a graph on the age bracket for sharing on social sites, I suppose. This graph is Instagram specific. As you can see from this survey of bloggers, the vast majority use social as a means to drive traffic into blog posts, pairing social with reviews in a winning combination for influencing your end buyer. How are bloggers driving traffic to their posts? So another graph. So it would seem that the majority, I'm assuming this is also an older chart, is going to be using social media somehow, or a search engine, which makes sense. Email also makes sense considering if you sign up for the promotions. So is influencer marketing the future of social selling? Without a doubt, influencer marketing as a subject matter is trending as more and more companies are scrambling to figure it out. A recent Google Trends graph explains why. So you can see the curve starts to go up after 2015. Whenever the trend's upward slopes like that, you can expend the CMO suite to start asking every agency on record and vendor what is being done to capitalize on the new trend. Why is influencer marketing the future of social selling though? Spending on social media is expected to increase significantly according to Forrester, like doubling by 2020. Social media marketing spending in the United States from 2014 to 2019 in billions of US dollars, so we have another graph here. So as you can see, it's up a lot by 2019, probably even more now. Specifically for influencer marketing though, are you expecting your influencer marketing budget to increase or decrease over the next 12 months? So just from the share of respondents, the majority think the budget will increase, which makes sense, and the other side is unsure or think it would be the same. The biggest leap from the early days of social media to now is that we now have the capacity to tie together sales data with attributed activity that occurs on Twitter, Facebook, etc. With this closed loop, we are now able to narrow the focus away from just generating buzz and into creating reviewer campaigns designed to generate more sales with a minimal budget. In that way, influencer marketing is the future. So how can you get started using influencer marketing to sell more product? The easiest way to get started is to sign up. Once you are a member, make use of our discovery feature, keeping in mind who you are trying to sell to. First, narrow your filter by choosing a country to target, and then test around with different network filters to see which influencers shown would make the most sense. Finally, if necessary, filter further by keyword phrases. At this point, you will be ready to engage a reviewer by starting off a message pitched to those you choose to reach out to. You're beginning the process where the conclusion is designed to be a posted and approved review that sends you more sales. Simply follow the steps, be open and honest, and have fun. So that's going to about do it for this. So you have Joe Sinkwitz, who wrote this, is the CEO and co-founder of Intellifluence. So you can click on this blog or article in the link that I'm going to leave in the description. You can try Intellifluence for yourself, which is a free website for influencer marketing. And you can either try to reach out to influencers or become an influencer yourself. So if you like the reading or the blog, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're looking for more content, or if you want me to promote anything, you can just leave something in the comments. Also, if you want to see more content, subscribe and hit that bell button. So thank you for watching and have a good day.